Alright, what's up everybody, it's Sam from Andrade. In this video I'm doing my card predictions for UFC Fight Night 205, Andrade versus Lemos. Some of you asked me, commented me about the audio noise. I tried to change the mic, it still didn't work. The mic that I got didn't quite work well, so apologize there for the poor audio quality, but appreciate that you guys are still here with me. So let's do as always, let's first real quick talk about the previous card, how did I do? And I'm gonna be breaking this down to you guys alongside the bets that I'm taking. So basically, the last card I had a loss, right? I bet ended up not betting much. Some fights were canceled, so I bet 2 units. I got back 1.17. I lost nearly 1 unit, so in the event it's 42% loss. But that's how it looks like in the year. Right, so for the year, this is the risk amount, this is how much return, this is my profit in units, and this is the profit that I bet on the overall money that I bet for the year. So still pretty decent numbers as of now. Let's see about this card. It's quite a tricky card to bet, in my opinion. I don't have basically I don't have any big bet. My biggest bet here is Clay Guida. I think it's the only one that's really worth it. But let's talk about the other two that I got too. Plus, I'm going to be breaking this down to you guys, right? So between Charles Jourdain and Lando Vanara, I'm picking Vanara. I didn't catch him early when he was plus 120. Now it's nearly pick him. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to pass only. Maycee, Barber, Montana, De La Rosa. I'm picking Barber, but going to be betting De La Rosa. I like the lines a little bit here. Quite close fight in my opinion. Going to be breaking this down. Luis Kosi and Preston Parsons. I'm picking Kosi and not betting. Play Guida versus Claudio Puelles. This is my biggest bet here on Guida. I was between low and medium quality bet, ended up going low just because of the age, but I think it's quite a good pick and a good bet on Guida. MArc-Andre, Barriault and Jordan Wright. I'm picking Barriault, not betting. Kape Green versus Johan Lainesse. I'm picking Green and not betting. Manel, Kape and Mudaerji. Picking Kape, not betting. Jessica Andrade and Amanda Lemos. Picking Andrade and not betting. Martin Prognio and Felipe Lins. I'm picking and betting Lins. Actually, I bet Lins in an early market at plus 130. Now I don't think there is much value on Lins anymore. It's a quite tricky bet. Still I'm picking him, so to me dog or pass. I ended up getting a small bet on the dog. Killing Aori and Cameron else, I'm picking Aori and not betting. So let's break this down real quick, guys. As always, those that I'm not betting, I'm not going to extend too much. If you wish more details, you can always join my Patreon. There I have more details. I put this presentation in there. What did I do here? I put this presentation in there, and you guys can obviously ask your questions, so feel free to stick until the end. I'll show you my Patreon. So let's get down to this one. Luis Kosi and Preston Parsons. Guys, I mean, not the highest level fight. I think Kosi has a little bit better technique overall. I know that he lost to Sasha Palatnikov. He looked pretty great in the first round, but then he punched himself out, ended up guessing and getting finished. Could happen the same, but Luis Kosi to me looks a guy that is aware of his career. I think he's gonna get good learning lessons from that fight, and I think he's gonna adapt here. If he adapts, he's the better fighter. Parsons is not a bad fighter. The man is tough, has thick legs, kicks pretty. Doesn't kick much as he could with those big legs. He likes to push forward, corral guys and take it to the ground. I still think Kosi is the better grappler of the two. So to me, Kosi has some decent advantages here. I'm hoping people bet Parsons because I would like to bet Kosi with minus 130, something like this. I would like Kosi. But rather than that, I'm going to pass on this one. I think it's quite tricky one of these lines. Marcin Prognio and Felipe Lins. Like I told you guys, I'm picking betting Lins. Mostly it's a best bet against Prognio. Neither Lins, neither Prognio are the best fighters. Both pretty, not one-dimensional, but they're pretty, I don't know, they have flaws, and they're not the highest level fighters. Prognio uses his karate Kyokushin style. They stays on the outside, throw some big hooks, some kicks, but not much rather than that. He won against, just forgot the name of the guy there. We'll remember soon. So against the guy that, just forgot the name of the guy. The one that went to Thailand, was training Muay Thai. So Muay Thai versus karate, he got a good win there. But it was not impressive. It was a close fight in my opinion too. Felipe Lins coming down to light heavyweight, has a little bit more experience, higher level experience, also fought in the PFL and whatnot. I think Lins has a little bit more chances just because he's a little bit bigger in there. I think he's gonna actually come more motivated, using better his strikes. Plus, he's under a better camp. That's also a good factor in my opinion in ATT. So basically, tough one to pick, to predict, to bet. But to me, dog or pass, and up betting Roundtree. Just remember the guy that Archie Procknell fought against. So Procknell won against Roundtree, which is a respectable win. Nonetheless, I think Collins has probably going to come more motivated since he's coming down weight class in the better camp. So I'm weighting that a little bit better, a little bit more than the other. But not the highest level fight. Definitely Procknell could win here. Okay, Kileng Auri vs Cameron Else. It's another tricky one. I think Kileng at the minus 300 is extremely expensive. He's not a bad fighter. He does basically everything correct. But I think he's yet to shine in the UFC, to show his experience and all his ability. From what I've seen, he likes to keep it standing, even though he can. He's not a bad grappler, but I think he should blend things a little bit better. So he's kind of an effective fighter in the feet and not easy to fight against, because he doesn't have many flaws. Cameron Else, more a guy that likes to get inside and throw powerful hooks and then wrestle, take it to the ground, try to hold guys there. Kileng has some problems with the takedown defense, but it's not that bad, He's not stellar, He can get taken down control, but it's not really easy. Else is the better wrestler, but not by much. I mean, I don't know. I think Cameron has a decent wrestling game, but he doesn't grapple much, doesn't hold the position, control guys. And I don't know, man. I think Auri is a quite strong pick here, to be honest, but bet Auri at minus 300, minus 350 is just too much. So then I'm going to end up passing here. But yeah, maybe Else by decision makes sense if you can get him at, like I'm putting here, plus 450. I don't think Else finishes Auri, even though Else, he's an aggressive guy, but I don't think Auri going to give him much openings, right? Not going to brawl with him or something. I think Kileng going to try to be technical in there. Maybe if he doesn't want, I don't think, Kileng, he tends to have a mix approach between being aggressive and the waiting. So I don't know, man. Could be a finish to Else included, but I think Else by decision, if you like Else, especially at a very good price. But to me, I think I'm just gonna pass on this one. MArc-Andre Barriault and Jordan Wright. It's pretty easy to break down, but not that easy to bet. Wright comes forward, throws a flurry, big knees inside, elbows, takes it to the ground, finishes the guy there, either by ground or pound, either by putting pressure and then getting a choke or something. Not the best defense, not the toughest guy in there, right? Barriault, a little bit tougher, likes to push the pace, but doesn't have that much explosive power as Wright does. Barriault accumulates damage, keeps pushing the pace. Eventually, he can finish you, accumulating the strikes, keep pushing the pace, and making guys' life miserable. I think Wright has more chances in the beginning. If he doesn't finish Barriault should take over pretty easy. But in terms of a bet, man, I think it's a tough one, especially at the lines. I think the lines are pretty much correct, so it makes tricky, at least in my opinion, to bet. I think Wright, maybe Wright by knockout or Wright inside of the distance if you can get it at a good price. I don't think this line going to be possible. I think people expect that Wright finishes him if he wins. So maybe Barriault by decision at plus 300 or something, or even Barriault by knockout, round 3, round 2. But tricky one to bet, like I said. I think I'm going to pass on this one. Charles Jourdain, Land of Anara, another interesting one. Jourdain is a little bit more one-dimensional with the kickboxing. He's a very good kickboxer, throws hard, has heart, pushes the pace, dangerous at flying knees, throw big hooks and whatnot. Has good, decent power for the division. Quite tall, lean, fit. So he's there. He's a good fighter. Land of Anara more dynamic, known for his spinning stuff, his dynamic style on the feet, and also a good wrestler and a good grappler. The problem that Lando had, especially in the lightweight division, was the cardio. Use it to, look at standing the first and slow down a little bit. He learned his lessons, doing better with the pacing, being more consistent throughout the fight. But I think, man, that Charles Jourdain probably going to lose the first round. Jourdain's a slow starter, and then he keeps picking the pace. And then in the third round, the man wakes up and marches guys down. He goes hard on the third. I think Lando probably going to win the first round. The second round is a question. right? I think Lando can win the second round too, because he's a more well-rounded. He can hang on the feet with Jourdain, maybe not by volume, but by technique for sure. Plus, Lando is the better wrestler of the two, and we know that Jourdain can be taken down. He doesn't like to grapple, right? And if Lando can flatten him out, Lando can control him. I think it's a 50-50 fight, guys. Again, if you got Lando in an early market, I think it was a good bet. The current line is quite tricky. I think the only thing that I'm going to be betting is Lando by decision. But I would like to get at least a plus 250 if I can find this line. Rather than that, maybe fight go the distance, because Jourdain can finish Lando, but won't be easy. Maybe Jourdain round 3, like I'm putting here, because he's strong at the third. Maybe Lando slows down. Who knows? So those props to me make sense. Rather than that, it's a tricky one. Manel, Kape, and Mudaerji. So Kape came with a lot of hype, disappointed the first two in the UFC, then now looking outstanding in there, those feints and with that athleticism, that good takedown defense game, well-rounded game, Manel Kape. So Mudaerji more of a kickboxer on the feet, but very tall, lean, right? Mudaerji has decent natural power, doesn't explode much, but has those long arms and long legs, generate lots of leverage with that. Kape, this is a good fight to see where Kape gonna stand. I think Mudaerji gonna have his moments in this fight. I don't think gonna be one-sided for Kape. Kape gonna feint, try to be, try to be dynamic in there. I don't think Mudaerji gonna react much to that. I think he's gonna keep to his fundamentals, gonna find some shots, and he's gonna have his moments. We'll see if Kape actually gonna, after maybe start falling behind here and there, see if we can, get back up and keep, fighting for real. Have a dog fight. Let's say that if Kape needs to go to a dog fight, can he do it? I'm still not sure. Maybe he can. He definitely has potential. So we'll see. I think Kape has the potential to win this fight. I think the lines now are correct with Mudaerji plus 155. To be honest, I'm feeling more comfortable in betting Mudaerji here by decision than Kape, because Mudaerji is an underdog, and I'm still not sure how Kape gonna handle the what's Kape gonna do when he starts falling behind, something like this. So I'm gonna go Mudaerji here. I'm picking Kape, right? But in terms of a bet, Mudaerji by decision would be my only bet, or fight go the distance at a decent price. Clay Guida and Claudio Puelles, like I told you guys, my biggest bet on Guida. Quite confident there, despite the age. Guida, man, the man is a cardio machine. He's such a physical guy still. He's 40 years old. Obviously, actually, this is not right. Forget about this. I think I copied it. Didn't replace this. So let me just talk through it. So Guida, still very physical at 4 years old. Obviously, when he was 30, he was incredible. Still pretty above average. Claudio Puelles, more of a grappler, guys. He likes some kicks and some hooks, but he's not like fluid or something. He makes mistakes. I think Puelles has a chance to get knocked out in this fight as well. Guida, he hits hard, even at 40 years old with those explosive hooks. Plus, Guida is the better wrestler of the two. I don't think Puelles takes Guida down. Guida knows what Puelles is going to try to do. And Guida, he can't take the front foot and take the top position. He's not going to be afraid to grapple with Puelles from the top, at least. Obviously, Guida wouldn't want to grapple from his back, but from top, Guida is not afraid. Right, so I think Guida would take the front foot at times, land a powerful right hand and take it to the ground. Like I told you guys, Guida could even finish Puelles. I think Guida by decision is the safest pick, right? But I can see a finish for Guida. I don't see much of a finish for Puelles. You can see maybe a lucky shot or a fast submission or something. I don't think so. I think Guida, at this point, Puelles is not the guy that would submit him. So Guida, to me, quite a strong pick. I have him at minus 170, like I'm putting to you guys. The line's at minus 110. Makes lots of sense to bet Guida. Again, not impossible. Puelles can, younger guy, has the range, the height, right? Could learn some lessons, control a little bit the range, and then, I don't know, somehow grapple a little bit, be able to take Guida down, stall the position type of things. I don't think much likely. He has to change quite a bit from one fight to another, and I don't see Puelles a guy doing that, but not impossible. But again, Guida, my strongest pick, my biggest bet of this card. Maycee, Barber, Montana, De La Rosa. Striker versus grappler, quite obvious. Barber, known for her stand-up, pretty fast on the feet, fast angles, good straight shots, good hooks. You know, when she tees off, she's also dangerous. Montana, more of a grappler, right? She doesn't have much of a stand-up. She's fairly slow in there. She doesn't have the best defense either. Montana can get hit. She has a good chin. She's tough, but she wears damage. Her face starts wearing damage, so it doesn't look good in that regard. I think Barber is the rightful favorite here, but I'm not ruling Montana out of this. Montana has the range and the height over Barber. Montana doesn't have the experience with striking, not have the effective striking, but nonetheless, it's one step extra that Barber has to take. Montana knows of her deficits. She's trying to improve. She's an experienced fighter, and she knows what she has to do here. She has to control the range, take opportunities, and grapple. And she will try. She's tough, as I said. To me, it's nearly a pick 'em. Barber has a small edge because of the athleticism and maybe the nature of power. But again, I don't think Montana is totally out of this, right? To me, Montana would be a plus 120 favorite. She's not plus 160. Makes sense to bet her, right? I'm also going to be betting Montana a little bit more by decision. I don't see much of a finish for Montana, especially, you know. She could submit Barber, but not likely. Barber has a good submission defense game. Barber has more chance to finish Montana by knockout, but not that likely. She cannot open up too much, not to get taken down. So this is probably going the distance, and Montana, by decision to me, makes more sense as a quite decent underdog. Plus, fight go the distance, the price was right. So this fight has been cancelled. And then the main event, Jessica Andrade versus Manel Lemos. This is an interesting one. I mean, Andrade coming back to strawweight. This is interesting because this is the right weight class for her, in my opinion. Obviously, she's heavily muscled, and for her it's probably a severe weight cut. But just to fix this one real quick. I think if she cuts the weight well, she's that big strawweight. So it's a right weight class for her. Lemos is another very big strawweight. She's long. You know, she's not that tall, but she's not short either. I think she's 5'5". So it's quite a decent size for the weight. And she has those big, long arms, long legs, and she hits hard. The question here is, can Andrade get inside, not get knocked out, and then, you know, wear on Lemos, use that massive strength that she has on the clinch? Probably she can, right? Lemos will come ready. I think that we'll see Lemos' cardio getting tested. I don't think she's going to pass the test. I think Lemos at some point going to slow down with Andrade pushing the pace unstoppably. And this is going to be Jessica Andrade's fight. But again, I'm not ruling Lemos out of this, especially knockout and especially in the first 2 rounds. So if you like Lemos, I would say go this way, knockout in first couple of rounds. Rather than that, I think Andrade should be able to have her way around, dump her on the feet and just smash her from top. Probably Andrade by finishing her on the third, on the second round. All right, so just to finish real quick, I have 2 tier on Patreon to you guys. $10, you guys have the early releases, my comments in there, and obviously you guys can chat with me, and some people do. And for $50, it's line by line all the bets that I'm taking. This is an overall guide. In here I don't put the props and whatnot, so if you want everything, you got for $50. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you next time. This is Sam from Andrade Bet, bringing the best, most consistent, and transparent betting strategy for you.